Welcome to the Human 5.0 Project, the podcast where we cut straight to the breakthroughs that matter, the show where science meets self-optimization. I'm your host, Ultimate Biohacker 10X, and here we break down the real research, real data, and real dosing behind modern biohacking, from compounds and peptides to techniques, devices, lifestyle strategies, and performance protocols. Most people jump in and jump out before they get the gold, so we're keeping it tight and delivering the essential insights you need without the fluff. If you've taken the time to hit play, we'll make sure you walk away with valuable knowledge that can transform your approach to longevity, health optimization, and beyond.
You wake up, you sit down to work, and your brain boots up like a laptop with 30 tabs open. Inbox, stress, cravings, distractions, old conversations, tomorrow's problems. And you think productivity is a willpower issue. Let me tell you something. It's not. Most people don't have a motivation problem. They've got a state control problem. They can't reliably enter the brain state that matches the task. That's the entire game today. Use neurofeedback to train state control on demand so you can push higher cognitive output without burning the nervous system right to the ground. Welcome back to the Human 5.0 Project. I am your host, Ultimate Biohacker 10X, and today we are sprinting into the future. We're recording our definitive 2026 guide to 10X cognitive output. Now look, 10X is a big claim. In the past, it was mostly marketing fluff, but in 2026, it's a measurable data point. We're talking about the convergence of advanced EEG headsets, brain-computer interfaces, or BCI, and the exact protocols used to prime your gray matter for elite-level focus. We aren't here for the trust me bro science. We're here for meta-analyses, the CES hands-on demos, and the hard numbers. But before we dive in, a quick shortcut to our listeners here in sunny Fort Lauderdale. I hope you're biohacking by the beach today. If you're tuning in on this February afternoon, grab your Nootropics stack and let's upgrade. And of course, a quick disclaimer. This episode is for education and performance self-tracking, not medical advice. Neurofeedback, supplements, and any form of brain stimulation can carry risks and may be inappropriate if you have a neurological condition, a history of seizures, implanted devices, are pregnant, or you're on meds that affect the nervous system. If any of that is you, talk to a qualified clinician before experimenting. Let's get wired and lock this one in. First, let's clear the air. Neurofeedback used to be the Wild West. Half clinical jargon and half pseudoscience. But a massive 2026 review in the Journal of NeuroImage just changed the game. We've graduated to MVPA-based neurofeedback. All right, what is it? Sure, multivoxel pattern analysis. Look it up. Instead of just poking at one spot in the brain, we're now decoding and modulating complex brain states across multiple regions simultaneously. The meta-analysis of 29 studies showed a moderate, statistically significant effect on neural outcomes. Pretty cool. So we've officially learned how to steer the ship. We can now target fear reduction, attention, and perceptual learning with surgical precision. But, and this is the 10X reality check, changing your brain activity is one thing. Translating that into a 10X workflow, well, that's another. And that's where the hardware comes in. So here's the honest data vibe. In healthy adults, neurofeedback shows a small positive effect on attention overall. Standardized mean difference around 0.27. But sham-controlled comparisons often wash out, and that highlights the placebo's role. So we're talking 5 to 15% focus upgrades that compound. Not overnight genius mode, but over time. The biggest story of 2026 dropped at CES. Tech giants like HyperX and Neurable have finally killed the bulky lab cat. We now have gaming headsets, the kind you'd actually wear with EEG sensors, baked directly into the ear pads. I'm looking at reports from Mashable and TechRadar on the new Prime system. Whoa, here's how it works. The baseline. The headset reads your electrical signals in real time to find your unique cognitive load signature. The Prime session, you spend 45 seconds on focused visual cue, like a cloud of dots that compresses as you clear your mind. The results? In 2026 trials with esports athletes, we saw reaction times drop by 40 milliseconds and accuracy jump by 3%. One journalist saw his aim trainer score leap from 34,000 to 37,000 after just one priming session. That, my friends, is the 10X edge in action. Other standouts? Muse S Athena with FNIRS for blood flow tracking, Sense AI for heart rate integration, and Open BCI for open source tweaks. Key here, you want to prioritize signal quality, fit, stability, and repeatable setups, because noisy data equals noisy gains. Neurofeedback's not a hack, it's a skill acquisition, like building muscle. You're going to teach your brain, when I hit this state, a reward follows, and over time it snaps in faster. So here's a simple framework, 3 gears. Gear 1, downshift, that's your calm state. Cut arousal for steady attention. Gear 2, lock it in, calm focus. Stable, jitter-free zone. Gear 3, that's your push, your sprint, your high-effort bursts without a crash. Now, for the most part, you're going to train Gear 2. Calm focus, this is king. Obviously, we avoid all-day Gear 3 because that's burnout city. A little tip for protocols, you want to focus on SMR, and this is sensory motor rhythm, at 12 to 15 hertz, and this will block motor interference for deeper work. When your brain is producing ample SMR, it signifies a state of relaxed focus. It's that sweet spot where your body is calm, but your mind is quietly alert. It's the neurological signature of being in the zone, but without the jitters. Adaptive systems adjust load on the fly to keep you in the flow. And if you struggle with anxiety, insomnia, or chronic fidgeting, your SMR is likely underpowered. Training it up via neurofeedback is like installing a shock absorber for your nervous system. It allows you to engage in high-stakes cognitive work without the physical stress response derailing your performance. So, hardware is only pillar 1. To hit that 10x output, we stack. So here's our Human 5.0 protocol for 2026, a 30-day practical rollout. So first, we pick one metric, deep work minutes, error rate, whatever it's going to be. And we want to track real gains and not just focus on scores. Step 2, train 4 days a week, 12 to 20 minute session, which is comprised of a 2-minute breathing downshift, 10 to 14 minute calm focus neurofeedback, and a 2-minute recovery. Step 3, immediate transfer task, 3 to 7 minutes. Apply the state to real work, like dense reading or planning. So an example of this would be something like this. Subjects trained for 12 sessions learning to control their somatomotor cortex activity while watching a visual gauge. Then came the transfer task. Do the same brain control task, but the gauge disappears. If they could still activate the right brain regions without the crutch of real-time feedback, then that was transfer success. Step 4, weekly retest for trends and daily noise progress so that you can readjust. So now the full cycle. First, prepare. You start with the fuel. We're going to use high-potency lion's mane extracts, 600 to 1,000 milligrams, 60 minutes pre-session. 2026 data confirms these act as a neural lubricant, promoting nerve growth factor, or NGF, to make your brain more plastic and ready for the training, boosting delta synergy and efficiency. Prime. Put on your BCI headset, run a 60-second prime session to quiet the mental noise and lower your initial cognitive load. Perform. Enter your deep work block. The headset stays on, monitoring your brain battery. And recover. This is the secret sauce. The system alerts you the second your cognitive load maxes out. As Dr. Ramses Al-Khaid puts it, this ensures your practice is good practice and not crap practice. And we stop before the burnout hits. Now you can add microcurrent like TES or TACS for longevity, small effects on cognition, but stack conservatively. Neurofeedback first, then lion's mane, then TES under guidance. 2026 metadata showed 20 to 40% uplift in task speed and accuracy. Repeat this 3 times a week for 8 to 12 weeks. Track with apps like Focus Calm. And I have to bring in a voice of reason here. Dr. Andrew Hill, with 25 years in the trenches, reminds us that while neurofeedback is elite for ADHD and peak performance, it's not a magic wand. In clinical practice, about 75 to 85% of people see meaningful gains. That means 1 in 5 may not respond. Why? Usually, it's a one-size-fits-all approach. If you want the 10x result, you need a device that personalizes the protocol to your unique QEEG brain map. Now, a QEEG is the mathematical and statistical analysis of your brain's electrical activity. It's a special kind of EEG. And a quick word on 2026 ethics and brain privacy. If your headset knows when you're focused It knows when you're tired. We need to be vigilant about who owns that data. Your neural signature is the ultimate biometric. Keep it locked down. The field needs standardized methods, and consumer tech outpaces research. Remember that. All right, some quick fixes here. What if I get a wild score? It's signal trash. Check the fit. Feel wired post-session? Probably overtraining arousal, so shorten and downshift. No change after 3 to 4 weeks? Maybe the wrong target, inconsistency, or maybe you got to pivot the protocol. Sham effects are real, but your metric is truth, so listen to it. So here's the 10x decoded. Faster focus entry, longer sustains, less fatigue, small gains compound to feel massive, and state control is the real magic. So the takeaway for 2026, the convergence is here. We've got the validated research, MVPA, the accessible hardware, HyperX and Neurable, and the chemical synergy, lion's mane. 10x output's not a myth, it's a protocol. Prepare, prime, perform, and recover. This is it for this edition of the Human 5.0 project. Check the show notes for links. Stay focused, stay upgraded, and stay rewired. This is Ultimate Biohacker 10x, and I'm out. Thanks for listening to the Human 5.0 project.
If you found value in today's episode, share it with someone who's ready to elevate their biology. Make sure to follow the show for weekly deep dives into peptides, protocols, devices, lifestyle strategies, and the science of high-performance longevity. Until next time, stay curious, stay optimized, and stay 10x.